The OKC Thunder taking on the LA Clippers in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals on a Monday night. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, and of course Chris Paul as well, all coming off from Game 7 wins in the last 48 hours. And the Thunder came out strong. Russell Westbrook to Kevin Durant for the three. He had 25 points in the game, but it was all Clippers after that. Chris Paul started hot from deep. 17 points in the first quarter alone. He was 5 for 5 from behind the arc as well. CP3 ended up with 32 total points in the game and put LA up 39-25 just after the first quarter. And later in the second, during the Thunder huddle, you got Russell Westbrook getting up as Coach Scotty Brooks is addressing the team and going to sit on the other end of the bench. Russell didn't return to the huddle during that break. And off of his turnover, headed the other way, Jamal Crawford ahead to Danny Granger. He'll finish the layup. LA still up 54-35. And Chris Paul is still hot, knocking down yet another three. And he can get it done in the lane as well. The Clippers had 69 points in the first half, and that's the most the Thunder have ever allowed in the postseason. And heading into the third quarter, Russell Westbrook pulling up and knocking down a jumper of his own. He did add 29 points in the game, and that shot cut the lead to just 15, but that was as close as it would get. Chris Paul knocking him down from the corner, and off a Thunder turnover, he's headed the other way and will find J.J. Redick in the paint. That caps an 11-0 run. Clippers up 26 at that point, and things get a little bit chippy in the third quarter. Serge Ibaka and Blake Griffin get a little tangled up, and Ibaka kicks Griffin's feet to get untangled. He ended up getting called for a technical foul as well. And after the Clippers made that free throw, LA's up 84-63. And Chris Paul pulling up from the top of the key to knock down his 8th straight three-pointer. Again, 32 total points on 12 for 14 from the field for Paul and 8 for 9 from downtown. And the turnovers continue to plague OKC. That's Reggie Jackson throwing it away. OKC had 18 total turnovers in the game. And Blake Griffin throwing it down, an exclamation point on the huge LA night.
This is a long series, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want anybody to get it going, all right? Because then they get confident.
And Doc Rivers encouraging his guys to keep it going, and they do. KD missing the three-pointer, frustrated at this point, and finally gets the technical foul after arguing with the officials. Later in the fourth, Jamal Crawford pulling up and knocking down the three to cap off an LA win, 122-105. And with that win, the Clippers take a 1-0 series lead over the Thunder. Game 2 is Wednesday at OKC.
The Clippers took Game 1 in convincing fashion. But how much of a boost would OKC get 24 hours after Kevin Durant wins Most Valuable Player? Commissioner Adam Silver hands over the hardware. It was an emotional Tuesday, and Durant came out and played great in the first quarter, hitting 7 of his first 11 shots in the period, dropping 17 in the first. Durant and company on fire early on as they try and even up their best-of-7 series against the Clippers. Jay-Z liking what he's seeing from his client, Russell Westbrook, being the great wingman that he can be for Durant, capping a 13-1 run to up 27-19. On to the second quarter. Clippers trailed by as many as 11 in the first half. Chris Paul showed off the handle, and he makes it a 41-37 game. The check out, physical this series is going to be. No call on this one as DeAndre Jordan just levels the MVP. A play-on scenario, but meanwhile, as that's going on, Durant would be okay, but how about the Clippers erasing that 11-point deficit? J.J. Redick, 16 first-half points, but he only had 2 after halftime. Blake Griffin misses the floater. Kevin Durant gets the rebound, fires ahead, and it's Serge Ibaka on the other end who lays it up and in. OKC back up in front by 3. Now with 27 seconds to go, it's lights out. Bad weather outside. Commissioner Adam Silver getting a good seat. You might need a flashlight to see this. During the final seconds, players had a tough time scoring the basketball. Nothing to do with the lights, but the bottom line is they get it working, and heading into the break, OKC was up 61-56. Third quarter, all about the home team. Lights back on, and they were clicking. 28 points after the first three quarters for Durant. DeAndre Jordan misses. On the other end, it is Russell Westbrook to Thabo Sefolosha. Sort of a 10-2 Thunder run. They're up 78-66. And then Russell Westbrook attacking. Not such a little guy after all. OKC scored 11 straight points, and turnovers a huge problem for the Clippers on Wednesday night. They had 6 of them in the third quarter alone. Sefolosha makes it 87-73, and then Sefolosha gets the steal off the ensuing inbounds. And later in the possession, it's Westbrook, who had 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. OKC outscored the Clippers 38-17 after the Clippers had taken a brief second quarter lead. But more tough play here. Big baby Glenn Davis bangs into Derek Fisher. Fisher would have to leave the game. Stay tuned to NBA.com for the latest on the status of Derek Fisher. And Doc Rivers was none too pleased about it. A frustrating all-around night for the road team. Doc Rivers would get teed up. Chris Paul would also receive a tee later on. Thabo Sefolosha finished with 14 as the Thunder finished off the Clippers. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook combined for 62. Durant 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Westbrook completes the feat. Third time this playoff season he's gotten the triple-double. Game 3 with the series tied at 1 shifts to LA on Friday night.
Following the announcement that Kevin Durant won his first MVP award, his Oklahoma City Thunder went out and promptly evened their series against the Los Angeles Clippers, making it 1 game apiece as the teams head back to LA. The Clippers' Jamal Crawford earning his 6th Man of the Year award, and yeah, the presentation before the game, nicely done for Jamal Crawford. We start you off in the second, Thunder in transition. Kevin Durant crosses over Jared Dudley and goes and scores the layup. Watch it one more time. Beautiful move. This is part of an 11-3 Thunder run. They're up 38-36. Later, Clippers in transition. Chris Paul drops it off to Blake Griffin, who goes up and spikes that one home in traffic. 13 of 22 from the field for Blake. Later, second quarter, Kevin Durant and Chris Paul bump into each other right there and then have just a bit of a conversation. They would receive double technical foul, so a technical foul for both Kevin Durant and Chris Paul later. Wow, Russell Westbrook hanging in the air and hitting 13 points at the half, but CP3 had 14 drilling the 3 here. This is Chris Paul at the half.
You told us today that you and Kevin Durant, great friends off the court, but you're not buddies at all.
Damn, what are you talking about out there?
What got you guys into it?
I don't know. Let's play.
And play they would. Clippers led it again 63-61 at the half. Blake Griffin battling Serge Ibaka in the post. And watch closely here. Blake Griffin obviously goes inside and forces the contact, but comes up with an elbow in his face. A little blood on the play. You can see it right there for Blake Griffin, but no foul called on the play. Later, third quarter, Russell Westbrook passing to Serge Ibaka, and Serge Ibaka goes up for the deep little 2-point jumper there for Serge. 7 of 7 on field goals through 3 quarters, 16 points after 3. Chris Paul bringing it up, missing the shot, but he gets fouled by Reggie Jackson. Coach Scott Brooks upset on the play. Reggie Jackson gets called for a technical foul, so both teams a bit fired up. Now, time winding down in the third, Jamal Crawford shoots a half-court 3, and the refs call a foul right here. Look closely. Kevin Durant makes contact with Jamal Crawford's wrist. That's a foul. Crawford made all 3 free throws. So to the fourth quarter we go, and in the fourth, Kevin Durant gets fouled by Jared Dudley on the tough runner. Hit 36 points on the game. The Thunder up by 4. Later, less than 9 to go. Inside, Steven Adams rejected by Blake Griffin. On the other end, 96-94, the count. The Clippers down by 2. Jamal Crawford, he had 20 points on the night. Drills the jump shot there. We are tied at 96. Serge Ibaka then missing the 3. On the other end, it's Blake Griffin working in the post. and gets the jump hook to go. So Blake Griffin goes for 34 points and 8 rebounds. The Clippers up by 1. Less than 6 to go. OKC down 1, now up 2. Caron Butler, what a big pickup he may turn out to be. 14 points off the bench. The Thunder by 2. Then inside Serge Ibaka grabbing the rebound off to Kevin Durant, miss, and slamming that one in. 20 points again for Serge Ibaka. OKC up 106 to 101. Then Thunder up by 1. Russell Westbrook pulls up and hits a huge 3. 111 to 107. The Thunder in front. Then Kevin Durant spinning and hitting a turnaround jumper over Chris Paul. Let's play. Well, play Kevin Durant did. Huge shot there. And the Thunder on a 7-0 run. They go on to win it by 6 and take a 2-1 lead in the series. Your final score here, 118 to 112.
Game 4, Thunder and Clippers. Kevin Durant, 36 points in the Game 3 victory for OKC. And chippiness early, Serge Ibaka rings the bell here on Blake Griffin. No foul was called on the play. And we flash back to March 3rd, 2013.
Okay. Whew. Why do we keep showing this?
It's just tough to watch, to be honest with you, and almost tougher to talk about. Blake Griffin would recover, I'm happy to report. First quarter, Vinny, all Thunder.
KD, I mean, OKC just got off to an incredible start. Russell Westbrook playing the passing lanes, had total control of the game here till the fourth quarter.
OKC led by as many as 22. They led 32-15 after the first quarter. They led by 11 at halftime. We go to the third. Clippers turn it over, and it's Russell Westbrook to Kevin Durant.
Good job. That was a beautiful pass. Give Russell a lot of credit. With the left hand, put it right on the money between 2 defenders. That's beautiful basketball.
Part of a 9-2 run, OKC up 15. Paul to Jordan, it's a 10-point game.
Oh! Highlight reel there. DJ over the top. Chris doing a nice job. Blake getting a piece of Durant. They have to help somewhere.
And Blake Griffin picked up his 4th foul at 6:20 in the third. Stays in the game and picks up his 5th foul with 3:40 to go in the third quarter. Did you agree with that coaching move by Doc?
Had to do it.
Yeah, he had to.
You know, didn't have a choice, really. I mean, they're down. They needed to stay with the momentum. It worked out for them because they were able to go the small ball lineup.
And here we see in the fourth, that comeback is already well underway. It's a 5-point game. Blake Griffin, stays after it. 3-point ball game, Smitty.
Oh, good job. Now, he's the biggest guy on the floor right now with that small lineup. So any miss, he goes back and get it. But this is, to me, the decision of the game to go Chris Paul. Whether it was out of desperation or not, give Chris Paul credit. I mean, he fought Durant. He has him posted up outside, being able to have the guys come double team because he wasn't that deep.
Kevin Durant now over Chris Paul. Vinny, from the OKC perspective, not enough of that in the fourth.
No question. I mean, they have to do a better job freeing up Durant. But the Clippers just had it rolling in the fourth quarter because their confidence went up with the turnovers and they're getting the easy ones down the stretch.
Griffin was clutch from the line, completed that and one to tie the game, and then Jamal Crawford 4-3 as the Clippers take their first lead of the game by 2. DC to the cup.
I mean, he was magnificent tonight on both ends, and you can see with that small ball, he's able to penetrate, and look at Russell Westbrook. Didn't make that one, and this is a big play because now Jamal Crawford gives it up to Darren Collison for another easy bucket.
Collison put it in, and it's a 4-point Clipper lead, 32.8 to go. Collison howling at the moon. Back comes Westbrook.
Well, he's just driving, you know. Collison had some trouble there, just picking him up a little bit too far with his speed.
You see right here, a 3-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. OKC out of timeouts, and Blake Griffin misses. Here come the Thunder with a chance to tie with a 2 or win with a 3, and they get an attempt from Russ.
Not a bad look. I mean, it just went off, and Serge late on the tip in. Give the Clippers a lot of credit. They survived and got this win. Down 22, and they come back and win this one.
The Los Angeles Clippers and the Oklahoma City Thunder with this Western Conference semi-final series all even Well, I thought the Clippers were desperate for 3 quarters. I mean, they were out of sorts just as they were on this possession here with the turnover.
4-on-1. Oh, nice move by Sefolosha, who also fell. Griffin again rips it down.
Well, we haven't seen Durant post up an awful lot. It's Redick lines up the 3 and knocks it down.
Shot clock to 5. Griffin again.
The Doppler.
The skies looked a little ominous.
They did look ominous.
Yes.
I noticed that.
Here's Barnes with a deep 3. Yes.
You shoot in rhythm, you're more likely to get an offensive rebound.
Paul with a terrific move. It counts. And the foul. Somehow he was able. But at the other end, he can get caught because he's always going to the rim for the offensive rebound. Here's Davis with room.
Hard to fault the guy when he keeps swinging the ball and you generate defensive rotations.
Hollison is off. Oh, the nice follow you talked a moment ago about the offensive rebounding of Westbrook. Able to get to it for the bucket and a foul. Paul weaving inside. Rebounded by Westbrook. Puts the speed on. Got a split through and he's tripped up. Fouled by Barnes.
I think it might have been Chris Paul, Marvin, and that would be Paul's second.
You are correct. They say Paul. Barnes raising his hand to try and persuade the official that it was not on Paul. He said it wasn't brilliant coaching, it was desperate coaching. He said he was looking for any possible combination. And Chris Paul. Now Paul met on the switch by Butler. I think he likes this matchup. Gave it up to Barnes. And then got the step, pitches it back. Crawford, for 3. What ball handling by Chris Paul.
Incredible. How about the vision to find making stops and converting at the other end?
Crawford not able to hit. Rebounded by Durant. It's picked off by Paul. He's open for 3. Yes, the steal followed up by the shot from downtown. To 10, led by as many as 15. That steal by Paul, his 3rd in this first half. Westbrook, and he hits the 3. Westbrook weaving his way to the rim.
He'll get the extra possession, and with Adams on him, he was able to get that shot off easily.
Adams on the beautiful pass. Perry Jones has come on for Oklahoma City as Redick fires for 3 and it hits with 1/10 of a second. The 3rd quarter. So the Clippers now lead at 58-54. This game 5 of this best-of-7 semifinal series. Matt Barnes with his 3rd from downtown. Clippers with the ball up by 5. This has come down to a best-of-3 series off the come-from-behind win on Sunday by the Clippers, and Redick has the stroke. Kevin Durant now 3 for 12 from the field. Griffin, yes, 19 points, 11 rebounds for Blake Griffin. Westbrook for 3
shots, but Barnes has been relentless in his pursuit tonight.
Westbrook knocked it away from Paul. Yet another turnover by Chris Paul. Here's Westbrook on the drive. Oh, wow. He does it at both ends. The steal, and then...
But that fired him up, and that has fired this crowd up.
Here's Davis. Yes. Westbrook accelerates. He scores, and the foul. Russell Westbrook with big plays here in the 3rd quarter. Davis commits his 4th, and Westbrook to the line looking for a 3-point play. Steven Adams has checked back in for Oklahoma City. Crawford. It counts on the foul. It's a 3+1. Jamal Crawford has been the king of 4-point plays. 4-pointers during the course of this postseason. Westbrook with a nice delivery. 3-point line and has 14 points.
And he's playing such good defense on Kevin Durant that Doc Rivers hasn't resorted to going small. And Westbrook continues his hot point.
Another 3-point possibility for Westbrook, who has 26 points, 11 coming here in the 3rd.
is broken down. The second line is compromised.
Griffin, yes.
And again, no hesitation. That's the whole key for him on that jump shot.
Griffin looks straight away. This time goes front rim. Westbrook is on it. Knocked away by Paul. He's fortunate he did not pick up a foul. Ball's deflected out. Last touch by Chris Paul. Danny Granger has checked back in. He played well in the first half. Granger, Davis, and Griffin up front. Davis has the 5 fouls. Westbrook again. The Clippers, this is a phenomenal number scoring. 18 of 19 possessions. Paul, yes. Westbrook, after pulling it back, takes the move. Oh, what a move by Russell Westbrook. The Clipper lead is down to 2. Playoff shooting game. And the career of Kevin Durant. He did have a 3 for 14 3 years ago against Memphis. Nice move by Paul.
So a very different feel to this fourth quarter.
Crawford, yes.
Can OKC make a run here and get back in it?
Well, Westbrook on the drive.
Oklahoma City not boxing out on that missed free throw.
Paul with the jumper, yes. Clutch jump shot by Chris Paul. Timeout taken by Scott Brooks. 49 seconds.
You can't give him a three-point play, and then you play the foul game at the other end.
Here's Durant for 3, yes! And there was no question that once he got that pass, he was going to put it up. Here's Crawford on the drive. Crawford runs out. Durant on the run. Paul is back. Durant scores with 17.8 to the Paul had it knocked away by Westbrook. The steal leads to this. Jackson is fouled by Barnes. Now they say no foul. The ball was knocked out of his hands and out of bounds.
Well, here's the incredible 3 from Durant. And then all hell breaks loose. Off the missed shot, there's the break for Durant. And then Chris Paul's,
and they're calling, you can see Doc Rivers is irate. They're saying it was last touched. Down by 2, Westbrook for the lead.
And he was fouled on the 3.
3 shots coming up. 35 points in all to go. Oklahoma City. This for the lead.
Clutch.
6.4 remaining. Paul down to 3, down to 2. Trying to get it down low, and Ibaka took it away. It's all over. The Oklahoma City Thunder have come from 15 back. The 17-3 rally down the stretch, and they win by 1 to take a 3-2 lead. And as you can see, Doc Rivers and his team very upset with a series of calls that were made in the fourth quarter.
And he's saying that was our ball. He's talking about the review when it looked like it went off of Reggie Jackson's hand. That's what Doc keeps repeating over and over again. It was our ball. Meanwhile, this was the last play. Ibaka, just a great job on the switch. Jackson gets a hand in there.
Game 6 of this Western Conference semifinal matchup between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the LA Clippers. OKC with the 3-2 series lead and a chance to finish it. And the guy who created the assist, right? It was the Clippers' assist in the first half that got him out to an early lead. Russell Westbrook missing, and Chris Paul gets it ahead to Blake Griffin. And Griffin with an assist of his own. He'll find J.J. Redick to knock down the jumper. The Clippers had 17 assists on 18 field goals just in the first half. And in the second quarter, Kevin Durant spent a little bit of time on the bench because of 2 early fouls, but when he came back, he did this. And he also did this. And he'll go ahead and do this as well. Yeah, you guessed it. He'll knock it down yet again. 9 points in 77 seconds for KD. And the Clippers up 50-42 heading into the locker room. And in the third quarter, a scary moment for OKC off the Chris Paul miss. That's Serge Ibaka falling to the floor, and CP threw the ball off of Ibaka, and he ended up heading to the locker room with a left calf injury and didn't get to come back to the game. And the third quarter was all Kevin Durant. 14 points on a perfect 5 for 5 from the field in the third, and knocking down that deep three. He started 1 for 7 in the game, then hit 11 of his next 14. LA still up by 5. And Russell Westbrook's first field goal of the game. That's right, started 0 for 6 from the field. And that's Nick Collison knocking down the corner three. The Thunder outscored the Clippers 30-22 in the third to tie it up at 72, heading into the fourth quarter. And the Thunder went on a 10-0 run. That's KD knocking it down from deep yet again. 39 total points in the game. And an assist for him as well to Reggie Jackson. That puts OKC up 90-80, and Doc Rivers trying to rally his guys.
We've been survivors all year. All year. All right, this ain't the time to let the rope go. All right, let's go. Let's go. We got to fight now. Come on.
And the fourth quarter was riddled with controversial calls. This is Chris Paul to DeAndre Jordan. But Chris Paul was called for the offensive foul in the paint. The basket didn't count and emotions started to run high. Doc Rivers not agreeing with the officiating yet again. And with the Clippers on the break, Blake Griffin this time called for the offensive foul. It's headed the other way. He takes down Kevin Durant, and that would be his 5th foul. And Doc Rivers still not happy about the way these controversial calls are headed in the fourth quarter. And later, Russell Westbrook on the break. This time he's fouled by Blake Griffin, and that would be it. With OKC up 95-86, Blake Griffin heads to the bench. And later in the fourth quarter, JJ Redick missing the shot in the paint, but KD pulling down his 16th rebound on the night. That'll seal it. OKC wins at 104-98, and with the win, OKC heads to the Western Conference Finals to face the San Antonio Spurs.